Guts' life began in tragedy. Born from the body of his dead mother, he was branded a cursed child from the very start. Shizu, the wife of a mercenary named Gambino, took a pity on the infant and chose to raise him as her own. In her arms, Guts found the closest thing to love in his harsh world. But that light extinguished when Guts was just 3 years old. Shizu succumbed to the plague, leaving him alone with Gambino, a man shattered by grief and hardened by war. Gambino, a man who never saw Guts as anything more than a burden, a cursed reminder of the wife he had lost. His bitterness bled into cruelty, treating Guts as a mere tool for survival rather than a child. Even so, he trained Guts relentlessly, forcing him to wield a sword almost too big for his small hands. Guts was sent to the battlefield as a child, where every swing of his blade was a desperate fight for survival. The battlefield became his cradle, and the clang of steel and the cries of the dying his lullaby. Guts' torment didn't end there. Gambino's resentment took a darker turn when, in exchange for money, he sold Guts to a wild man named Donovan. This betrayal from the only father figure he knew marked Guts deeply, exposing him to a kind of pain no child should ever endure. Yet Guts survived. Survival was all he knew. As the year passed,
I got the enemy commander. I won the entire reward.
Gambino's hatred only grew.
No!
And one fateful night, drunk and seething with rage,
Gambino.
Gambino attempted to kill Guts, blaming him for every misfortune in his life.
What have I done to deserve this? I take you in and you curse me!
Gambino, why are you
You are a son of the devil, a doomed child condemned by fate. You were the one who should have died, on that day 11 years ago, beneath your mother's body. You should have died!
In a tragic twist of fate, Guts defended himself and Gambino was the one who died.
You were never more than a pest. I hated you, following me around like a dog after you killed Shisu. You should have died. You killed her! You killed her. Shisu.
The mercenary didn't care about the torment Guts endured under Gambino. To them, Gambino was a father figure, and Guts had betrayed him by taking his life. Blinded by their loyalty to their leader, they turned on Guts with murderous intent.
Guts, what's going on here? Don't tell me you did this. Answer me, boy! What have you done?
Wait a minute, this is not...
Pay for this! Get him!
The mercenaries, blinded by rage and the bonds they believed tied them to Gambino, turned their weapons on Guts. In their pursuit of vengeance, an arrow struck his shoulder, sending him plummeting off a cliff into the abyss below.
Did we get him? It doesn't matter. No one can survive that fall.
Either way, Gambino can rest now, along with Shizu.
To them, it was the end of the world, a final chapter in what they saw as betrayal. But Guts survived, as he always did, clinging to life in a world that seemed intent on denying him. Perhaps it was fate, or perhaps it was the defiance of a soul forced in suffering. The mercenary would carry the weight of their assumed justice for the rest of their life, never knowing that the boy they cast down had risen again, his existence a quiet rebellion against the world that sought to erase him.
My body is frozen. Will I die here? Will I? Where am I going? If I just collapsed back there, I would be better off. If I were dead back there, there would be nothing. But now there's only bad. This is it.
Abandoned and alone once again, Guts wandered the brutal world with nothing but his sword and the weight of his suffering. His childhood was not just stolen, it was shattered to pieces. Every figure who could have provided love betrayed him. Every place that could have been home turned hostile.